So I saw a post about how Mr. Offset was saying that if Cardi ever left him, that she would never be free of him, that he would always find a way to be in her space. He would essentially stalk her. I don't know what ends, and I couldn't listen to it because I honestly don't think there's anything I could have gotten from that video that I wouldn't be able to paraphrase for you right now. Essentially, when men say things like that, it's literally because they know for a fact that they will not be able to get over you fully and utterly, decentering yourself from them or decentering them from you. And that's why men always try to trivialize our movements, trivialize our decisions as women. When we say dissentiment to them, they try and make it sound silly when it's literally something that you need to do because it's a life or death situation. We have experienced men to the point where they are pretending as if they haven't marketed the idea that they need to be mean to us in order to keep us there, because to be nice to women is to actualize women as human beings. That's why they pretend as if we're so emotional and mysterious and we can't make decisions, that we're essentially babies, we're essentially children, and that's why they say that they try to mystify us as to the best of their ability and say that women don't make any sense. We make complete and utter sense. It's them that pretend as if they can't understand. So I searched up on Google and this is what came up on Quora. It says, why do men wait until you want to leave to fix the relationship? And somebody said, honestly, because they know you are a good woman, but they be so caught up in the moment that they don't give an F at the time until you try and leave. I learned the hard way, if you leave, you leaving for a reason, not no reason. I'm not going to lie to you, that was very difficult to read. That's why grammar is important. But essentially, I think this person is saying that men get caught up in the moment, and that's why when they don't actually believe you're going to leave, and they don't get caught up in nothing, I'll tell you that. Men know exactly what they're doing and they do it on purpose. Like, stop making excuses for them, but at the same time, stop believing them. Like, men will be like, oh, I was just in my head and blah, blah. You weren't in your head enough to start a relationship. They are always, always, always up for manipulation. They're always up for intercourse, especially when you don't want to have intercourse with them in that moment. Because the thing is with them is that they don't actually see you as human beings. I've talked about it before on my page on TikTok, but there have been multiple studies that have basically concluded that men don't see women in a certain way, or they see women in a certain way, but they don't have to. And that is the kicker. That is the most important part and I made a video a couple of days ago on here as well. Like, that is the kicker. They know what to do and they know what they can do, they know what they're capable of, they just choose not to. And the more and more you start to think about them as human beings, even though they don't think of us as human beings, then you start to realize that, hey, if I as a fellow human being don't act this way, then how come they get to act this way? Is because this world was catered to them, because they essentially quote unquote created it. So somebody here, Simon, gave quite a long answer, but we'll read it. He says, I just answered the same question for someone else and thus posting it here, I guess, for you as well. Oh my God, thank you for asking this question. I'm a heterosexual male for your frame of reference. We men are exceptionally dumb when it comes to recognizing that we are totally screwing up our marriage with our wives. It's been scientifically shown that women genetically have a sixth sense for reading body language and other non-verbal things. Oh my God. This is just going to be one long excuse, isn't it? Because that's a lie. Women don't have a sixth sense. This thing, like I've talked about before, but this is how we raise boys. We essentially let them do what they want, and we let them make mistakes as kids, because kids don't have as much mobility as adults. And then what we do to girls is like dumping them on a desert island and expecting them not to survive. As a human being, you're going to survive. You're going to try your best to survive. Your body will not allow you to die without putting up a fight. So women and girls, they will go on that desert island once they've been dumped on it. They will go and scavenge for some food. Boys will try and figure out a hierarchy first. They'll be like, I'm the king. No, I'm the king. No, I'm the king, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll kill each other. The saying that mums have eyes at the back of their heads? No, the hell they don't. Like, even thinking about my own mum, she doesn't premeditate things before it happens. In fact, I probably have to premeditate things for her more often than she's ever had to do for me. And that's not knocking my mum. That is just the truth. We have just made excuses for men the entire time to be lackluster and not participate in their own households that they begged people to create with them. So Simon says, we get focused on our careers because famously women have never worked, do not work, and still to this day do not work. They don't have careers anyway. And he says this, that, the other things, and just completely bomb or abilities to recognize when we are screwing up with that. Okay, look, The thing is, men don't like their wives. That's it. Because if you like someone, you put in effort. If you love someone, you put in more effort. And this is just the thing. They don't like you. They don't love you. Just know that now. And they're literally saying to you that you're not important enough for them to override their quote unquote biological imperative to ignore you as a woman. They'll say that, oh, women are biologically predisposed to do this and then men are predisposed to do that. But then they literally pretend as if that is a requirement for being a leader. They pretend as if that means they should still be getting to tell everybody what to do. No, it doesn't. In a prison, you don't get to do that. You know, in on the playground, you don't get to do that. If you're a dickhead, people are going to treat you as a dickhead and you'll be known as a dickhead. And you don't get to tell people what to do if you're a dickhead. Simon says, men like me need to be educated by our wives. Oh my God, whatever. I've seen too many posts of men saying things like that. He says, we think an argument here or there that ends up from what we perceive as result is all set. Make-up sex may happen and there we go thinking, okay, oh my God. Beware of men who try to quote-unquote resolve arguments with you by initiating sex. That person does not care about you and they see you as a tool to masturbate into. That's literally, I've seen so many posts where men say that, you know, and this is the thing, when men are caught cheating and then you discuss the cheating and then you finish the discussion of the cheating, they'll say that, okay, so now that I've said sorry and you've forgiven me, that's the cheating is all forgotten about and you don't get to bring it up again. That's why I say, do not, even if you forgive men, actually, you don't have to forget. And even if you do, don't take them back. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you do when it comes to a cheater, don't take them back. That goes for everybody. If somebody cheats on you, they do not love you, they never loved you, and they hate you. And they will put in your body in danger, especially if you're sexually active with them. So somebody else down here says, lol, they're not trying to fix anything. They just want to make sure that their full stays a little bit longer. That's it. The pretty lies usually work too. FYI, you're wasting time and energy when you have to force someone to make changes. Those changes should occur from the heart and not by ultimatums, blackmail or leaving. You'll find yourself back at square one very shortly after. This times 1,000, times a million, times a billion, because that is just the truth. That is it. I've said it before and I will say it again. I don't care how many times I have to say it. But if you value yourself, right, you will not only be kinder to yourself, but you'll be able to assert boundaries. We are not kind to ourselves, especially as women. You are not kind to yourselves at all. And I really want us to understand that it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from someplace. And a lot of the time, men and boys are the ones who perpetuate it against everybody else because they're the ones, if there's a social hierarchy, they're at the top and they place themselves there. It doesn't mean we have to treat them like it actually means something because largely we don't care about what they think. So why is it that we're giving them so much power over our lives? Because this is what I want to talk about. I'm going to post my video that I posted yesterday, but they took the sound off again. So I'm going to post it, the one about Halle Bailey and DDG, her baby daddy, basically talking about how men will look at you basically slaving away and they will just be like, oh, well, you don't do anything. Because they'll say, oh, my wife, she's brilliant, blah, blah, blah. The moment you break up with him or you leave him, he'll be talking about how that you're useless and you dragged him down. Because DDG was on the line. Because these men, they keep talking. They're always talking online. DDG, Offset, all of them, just talking and talking crap. And they're especially talking about black women, the black women who gave them kids, the black women who were there for them and will basically sell the clothes off of their back just to keep them warm for one more day. When black men are victims of things, black women are always there fighting for them. That's why you shouldn't fight for them anymore. Fight for yourselves and fight for black girls because we are the ones who are left open for everyone to fire at and black men literally do nothing and say it's because we kicked them out of the home 100 years ago. That's why they don't ever defend us. Like they ever defended us in the first place. Like they never did that. So when it comes to men wanting 50-50, that's exactly what it is. 50-50 shouldn't exist, especially in a heterosexual dynamic, because there's no way a man, especially if a woman gives birth, there's no way anything he'll do will be ever even half as equal to what she's done. Because this is the thing, men require things of you that they themselves cannot get from other people or they cannot get from themselves. So that's why it will never be equal. And that's why they rely on you so much and it'll make you spend so much money that by the time they're done with you and by the time you've had enough, you won't have the means to leave. So that's why you always need to make your own money. That's why you need to know your worth. Halle Bailey will always be more famous than DGG. And it's like the only person who doesn't know that is her. And I guess fame doesn't have to matter to most people. But the thing is, you are always the one that people are going to come for when things go south. That is the entire point. And you as a woman, you need to understand how important you are to these men. So the video is coming in the next few seconds. So I saw a post earlier concerning a logical saying that women don't do anything in the house, and when women say that they don't have to work, he's like, yeah, you should have to work. Like, you have to work. Yes, you have to work. You can't just be sitting around doing nothing, or sitting around just being lazy, sitting around just lounging about and living your best life. And then I realized that man was talking to Tawanda Braxton. Tawanda Braxton. Now, if you're not aware of who the Braxton sisters are, get acquainted. But this ties into what I want to say in this video. Now, we've all seen, what's going on. And the thing is, I wasn't really going to talk about this before, because I don't really like talking about celebrities, but I guess it's just like, you need to talk about some things, because a lot of people like to compare themselves to celebrities and like to live through celebrities, because what separates us from people in the public eye is the amount of protection that they have and the money, obviously. And a lot of us, as everyday average people, we do not have those things. I don't know if I thought it was a prank or something, or like they're going to get back together quite soon, but that's not the point. The point is, men will denigrate you at any point where they think it's convenient. They will try their best to pressure you and pressure other women into being in a marriage, being in a union with them, or, a relationship, or having a baby with them. Not only because they know it will slow you down, but they know that once you decide to leave them, everybody, let alone men, who are the most likely to do that and partner with other men to make fun of you, they know that that's what they will boil you down to if you try to leave. So once you leave, they'll be like, your thingy's baby mother. Once you leave, you'll be like, your thingy's ex-wife. If you complain about it, or if you say anything about your experience with that guy, they'll be like, oh, but you married so-and-so. If so-and-so was so bad, then why did you marry him? That's why you have to be staunch with your coochie. You have to be staunch with your nether regions. You have to be staunch with yourself as a person, because you deserve respect. And to women and to everybody who is not a cisgender straight man, essentially, because they have the most audacity, you can't just ask for respect. You can't just respect yourself. You must demand respect. How do you demand respect? By asserting your boundaries, respecting yourself as a person, and knowing that you have your boundaries and your standards for a reason. But one thing I need to clear up is that people are saying, oh, Halle is this innocent person. I'm not talking about she knew, she should have known better. No. People are saying, oh, why did she even get with someone like don't get with him? People are asking why she's with what's his name now? With what? The name just slipped my mind. DDG. Yeah. Why did she get with that guy? We have to... this is the thing. I think like a lot of people like pretend to have short-term memory loss, but we've been following Chloe and Halle for so long that you do have to actually remember the live they did one time, where they were talking about the kind of guys they're interested in. And they were saying that people expect Chloe to want to be with like hood guys or tough guys and blah, 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 and guys who will make you want to sign yourself into a mental hospital, when really it's Halle. Chloe says she likes nice guys, nerdy guys, guys who are quiet and blah, 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 because she's actually quite shy. Halle is the sister that's not shy. And I think that has a lot to do with their body types, because everyone was saying Chloe's the more confident sister because she has more body or whatever, and saying that Halle was the little boy sister because she was skinny and then she didn't do as much sex appeal, or people weren't projecting as much sex appeal onto her as much as they were doing to Chloe. And then when Chloe started actually owning her sexuality, everyone was like, she's a whore. That's why we've always liked Halle. She's more respectable. And they're always trying to compare the sisters, but that's not what this video is about. Halle did say that she likes hood guys. She likes guys who, are gonna be toxic, and guys who blah, blah, blah. You can literally find this online. I'm not making this up. She said these are the kind of guys she likes. She likes guys who don't have that much going on for her. She didn't say it like that, but she said she likes like rappers. She likes like hood guys. She likes like guys who own guns, guys who are like dangerous. She likes gangsters. She likes the gangsters, not the graduates. Chloe likes the graduates. Halle likes the gangsters. They said this. I'm not making it up. So everyone should stop expecting or asking why she's with somebody like him. She was with him. That's the kind of guy she goes for. Okay, we can talk about their family history and whatnot. I don't know too much about their family history or their relationship with their parents. It really doesn't matter in this aspect. What the point is that no matter what kind of road you take, as long as you're dealing with a man, you'll be dealing with all of this. As long as you're dealing with a man, he will put you in your place when he deems fit. When you do something he doesn't like, he will denigrate you to the entire universe, to the entire galaxy, so loudly that everybody in an entire other galaxy will hear. The aliens will hear it. In fact, I don't know how far heaven is, but God and all the angels will hear it. Because there's no limit to how little men care about you and will show you the moment you take a turn they don't want you to. It doesn't matter who did the breaking up with who, whether or not they're actually broken up, whether or not they got pregnant by accident, or whether they were using birth control. What it really doesn't matter, because it's already happened. They already have the baby. They were already together. Whether or not they're broken up, that's not the point. Whether or not they get back together, everyone's been warning her, whatever. Let's stop pretending that people don't know what they're doing. The thing is, men shouldn't be acting this way. Men shouldn't be doing these things. Men shouldn't be assaulting women or trapping women or trying to get women to do certain things or trying to stop their careers or hinder their careers. Men shouldn't be doing any of this. That being said, women shouldn't be seeing these men and projecting humanity onto them. I've mentioned it before, because they are not projecting humanity onto you. Once they have successfully deposited their semen inside of you and it turns into a baby, or it turns into a fetus, and then that fetus turns into a baby and the baby is born, they know they have you. And the thing is, not every woman will end up like Sierra. And to this day, people still denigrate the Sierra. Like, the men, they're not happy every time her and her husband pop out with their kids. They hate to see it. And obviously we know why they do that. And if, Halle ever decides to get back with him, whether or not they're actually broken up, because I still don't know, nobody can say that she isn't making these choices. It's the same thing with Keke Palmer. We're seeing this all the time. There's so many women who do these things, and it's not just black women, but obviously as a black woman, you're going to be more focused on black women. You should train yourself to demand the respect you deserve. And obviously it starts with you respecting yourself and others, but you also need to stop pretending as if your preferences for people don't come from somewhere. Why would you grow up in a terrible situation as a child, or grow up in a place where it's not good for your development as a growing person, and then turn around and choose dysfunctional people? It's because you yourself are dysfunctional. You attract dysfunction because you are dysfunction, and you want dysfunction because you don't believe you deserve better. A lot of women, they don't know their own strength. They don't know their own power. And I've spoken to women who are like, the moment I gave him his energy, he was looking at me like he saw a ghost. Is because they know they're not actually supposed to be doing things like that. And I'm not victim blaming, because the thing is, a lot of men want to disrespect you and break you before you even discover your power. And that's why they want to stop us from talking to each other. It's as simple as that. But you need to start challenging your preferences, because I needed to start challenging my preferences. I was like, why am I attracting guys like this? Why am I choosing guys like this? Or more importantly, why am I choosing to stay with guys like this? Because you can't premeditate how these guys are going to act. You can look at their friend groups and you can be like, okay, he obviously acts like this. That's fine. But the thing is, we as women, we feel like there's not enough men to go around, or these men aren't as bad as other men, so we need to stay with these men, because what if for the rest of our lives we only meet the worst men, and then we could have settled for the men who are half good, half bad? Don't even settle for that. You need to descend to the idea that you need to be partnered. And obviously a lot of people like Halle, a lot of people like Chloe, and then we wonder why they end up in situations where men are denigrating them, because the same men who were praising Halle for being who she was or whatever are the same ones trying to tear her down now. And we need to stop making excuses when women help men to be terrible people to other women, because I'm not sure if it's true, but apparently Halle wasn't that great to Ruby Rose, even when DDG was saying that he wants to still sleep with her or go back to her or whatnot. And apparently that's when they were arguing or whatever. When guys are like that, that's why they like to keep women on rotation. That's why they like to spin the block, because they want to use you as pawns against other women, especially when they F up. A man will cause the problem, and then apparently the woman is the one who needs to make amends with him. Otherwise he's going to move on to someone else, or he's going to cheat. Apparently it was his idea to start showing their kid's face on the internet and whatnot. Of course it was. You'll do your best as a woman to protect yourself and protect your kid. And that man will take your title as protector and provider, put it on himself and present that to the world. And everyone will be like, yeah, that makes sense. Even though we have no proof you actually did any of those things. But we have all the proof that you as the woman did it. if you don't start loving yourself more, all of these things will start affecting you. Men can say anything they want. You as a woman, it shouldn't matter. That's why I'll repeat again. Don't argue with men if you see them. There's no point. It's their kink. They love it. You don't have time for this. If you like this video, I also have a YouTube in my bio. Like and subscribe.